Welcome y'all to Whiplash TV. Thanks for coming back to check out another video here on the channel. Today I am working again on my 2012 Chevy Silverado LTZ, and I just got done lifting it and putting on new wheels and tires. And what I need to do today is make some room in these front wheel wells for the front tires to turn and not rub. So many people know this as the Norcal mod. So that's pretty much what I'll be doing today. So let's take a look right now at where it's been rubbing at. So for those that haven't seen the previous video, I am running the Nitto Recon Grappler AT tires in 305/45/22 size on a 22 by 10 wheel with a negative 19mm offset. These wheels and tires are rubbing right back in here on this plastic liner. They completely clear the outer metal part, so it's just up in there where it's rubbing, and then up in the front it rubs just a little bit right here. So I just need to simply pull this back like this, and back here there'll be a little bit of metal trimming that needs to happen for this to get pulled back because it's up against metal back behind here. So the first thing that you'll need is some tools to remove some push pins. So this tool right here works real good for that, or you can also use like a straight bladed screwdriver to remove them. And then also on this 2012 new buy style model, you're going to have some 7mm bolts that'll have to be removed to get this fender liner to pull back out of the way. So I've already removed a push pin down here and over here, and then also a push pin up here up at the top. So I'll remove these and then peel the fender liner back. Alright, so now that we've got it loose, we can peel back this fender liner. And sometimes what you can do is you can just bend it back and set it right behind the tire, just like that. But this right here is where we're trying to get some more room. This is where two push pins were at, and we really don't want to mess with this bolt spot right here if we don't have to. We're just trying to get more room right in here. So usually people cut in here, they bend this part back and then cut some of this out where this pinch weld is at, sometimes make a relief cut in here, and then they bend it back. So just to get a good glimpse as to where we're really hitting, I'm going to turn the tire to the right, so this section of the tire here will come up in here, and I'll see exactly where is really hitting at and where I need the most room at, so I don't cut out and, you know, push back more of this than what's needed. Alright, so I took my tire and wheel and I turned it the opposite of this to the right. And then I marked right here with some marker kind of where it was kind of on the outline of the wheel and tire where it was hitting. And then I turned it to the right, so then I could start to see where it's getting close to this front one. But overall it clears this air dam right here and this part of the bumper. So this part will just have to be pulled forward like that, so it's out of the way. And then this back here is where I'm gonna have to do a little bit of cutting and some bending. So let's get to work. Back here you do have insulation, so you don't want to catch that on fire. It's rained some, so mine has a little bit of wetness to it, so that kind of helps out. Alright, so now that's out the way. So we're going to have to bend this back. Then we have to see about rolling this metal right here up. Now we're going to turn our tire back here towards this, and we're going to see what kind of clearance we have. So it looks like we have some pretty good clearance, but even when this is pulled back, I want it a little bit further away from the plastic liner. So we're gonna have to trim this piece right here a little bit. All right, so in order to make a little bit more room here, I'm gonna take and roll this pinch welded piece back. So I'm gonna cut up maybe 1 or 2 relief cuts in here, and then I'm gonna bend it on back. So you can see from this angle how much I've bent it backwards. And then too, when this second piece of metal, when all this gets drawn back up against that pinch weld, that should give some good room. So now we're going to test it out. I'm going to spray this with some black spray paint to coat it, and then we're going to put the fender liner back and see what we got. Now I've got my fender liner back in place. Everything's in except for where I'm going to put this screw at. I've got a self tapper and it's got a washer on it as well. We're going to run this up on in here. And there we go. We've got it pulled back a good bit. It sucked that back up on in there. So now we're going to see what kind of room we've got. Alright, so as you can see, I now can turn full lock. I can fit my hand up in here between the fender here and the tire. So now I have plenty of clearance. This looks really good. So now we are going to handle this front part up here. And really the easiest way to handle this and pull this back, I might just drill a couple small holes and run a zip tie through it and just pull it straight back like this. It would make me a ton of clearance. But I'm gonna look back here and see if there's something that I can put a screw to and just pull it back, then I will. Otherwise, I'll just do that. So y'all, this front side actually ended up being super easy. And look, I've got a bunch of clearance again. I can fit my whole hand up in here, and all I had to do was put one screw right there. That's it. There's actually a piece of sheet metal that runs up in here, and it's got a flat piece to it. So all I did was I kind of just marked where it was with my finger, just kind of cleared off a spot, and then I took a scratch awl and I just pressed the scratch awl through this plastic and then made sure that I was hitting the metal. Then I grabbed my bolt and just shot it in there, and now I've got all the clearance I need. Super simple. If I need to, I can just hit that screw with a little bit of black paint just to make it blend in, and most people are not even going to know it's there. So that's all it takes to get some clearance for some 22 by 10s with a negative 19mm offset and 33-inch tires. You'll always make it easier on yourself if you go with something like a 3-inch lift like I did, because the higher you go up, the less clearance and room you'll have to make. So over here on the driver's side, on the front, I did go ahead and do that zip tie method right there, because there was no other bracket up in here like there was on the passenger side. So the zip tie got me plenty of room, and then I did the same thing to make room on this side with that bolt right there, another self tapper. I hope that today's video gave y'all a better idea as to how to make room for your larger wheels and tires, and how to really open up your wheel wells. Y'all don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, comment, and subscribe, and ring that notifications bell so that you get notified every time that I post a new video. I appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.